My user story began with my persona, Zoe Parks. Zoe is a busy mom and working professional who has little time for the tedium of menu planning and often doesn't even have time for actual grocery shopping. Her real desire is to have a tool to help her quickly compile a weekly menu and create a grocery list. The idea for Zoe sprung from my own experience and needs. As a student and full-time consultant, I found myself planning the same rotation of meals each week. This simply made grocery shopping faster and there was less waste due to poor menu planning. In my first paper prototype, I joined forces with a fellow student who had a similar idea to mine. Together we worked with our combined set of paper drawings, honing the concept and functionality, and really using each other to cut the fat from not only the design, but the application's functionality as well. By the time the first round of user testing was performed, we had fine-tuned the idea into a solid core. From that point, we each took the project in independent directions and realized it through our own creativity. My vision in satisfying Zoe's need for the tool was creating a value proposition around simplicity of use. Initial feedback on my changes to the paper prototype was mostly positive. However, many recommended that I implement an even more simplified design and functionality. Some also voiced concern that each page could use more role clarity, which could help the overall flow. This feedback, coupled with lessons learned from the text and lectures, really helped me to envision Zoe's need for a more streamlined tool. This tool had to transform Zoe's burden of menu planning and grocery shopping into a pleasant and effortless experience. Additionally, my own research into applications that I personally like to use confirmed that the tool had to be a mobile application to truly meet Zoe's needs for flexibility and on-the-go functionality. I noted that several of my favorite applications were really stripped to their core purpose, since too many bells and whistles can often be distracting and counterproductive to efficiency. This is especially true for apps based on time savings and task simplification. First, I began to remove clutter from each page, hiding instructions and form navigation inside of clickable icons and cleaning up and simplifying copy. I used a shopping cart character called Maggie, whose name is a derived acronym based upon the application's name. As the app's mascot, Maggie had a dual purpose of not only providing a fleck of whimsy, but as a clickable icon at the top of each page, she also offered a consistent way to allow users to obtain form purpose and navigation instructions. Next, I selected a stimulating color story. Whites, grays, and burnt oranges draw the user's attention to the various sections of each form without visually assaulting them. I purposely chose muted hues to add richness and depth without being overly garish or distracting. When possible, text is charcoal instead of black to minimize an overly harsh contrast and to make the page look more cohesive. With the gray background, I also chose a skeuomorphic metallic gray image to give the application depth and provide interest in the white space without distracting the user from the functional sections. Burnt orange is used throughout the application on icons and buttons that perform actions or navigation for the user. The white functional sections of each form were tested with a squint test to ensure that they commanded immediate focus. Lastly, I leaned on the design concepts of proximity, similarity, and balanced groups to ensure each page felt well composed. Securing sufficient white space between objects using repeating themes of color and border, as well as a consistent icon placement, are some examples of how these design concepts were applied. Now that you know how I iterated through my app's development, let's see a demo. In the demo, I will use a short narrative to walk through the application's functionality. Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm in the middle of a hectic day, and I have just about 5 minutes before my next meeting to plan a quick menu and grocery list. A friend of mine recommended an iPhone app called Maggie, so I've just downloaded it, and I've started playing with it earlier, but now I'm going to make a quick menu and grocery list before my next meeting. Alright, let's get started. So click here. I think I remember this from before. Okay. Well, I want to make sure that everything is set up okay in my application settings. Okay. All looks good here, except it looks like I have 2 of Rick's email addresses. I should take one away and add Donna. Here we go. Looks like I should save here. Okay, everything looks great now. I'm going to go back home. Alright, as Maggie instructed, I'm going to get started with Make a Menu, so I'll just click that. Let's see. Okay, looks good. Alright, let's look at this week's menu. Looks great, except we've had a lot of Cobb salad lately, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And garlic chicken was requested, so I'm going to see if I can find a recipe for garlic chicken. That looks interesting. Let's see if we can see that a little larger. That looks pretty good. I'm going to add that to my menu. Okay, this looks great. I'm going to go ahead and create a grocery list out of this. Okay. Let's read through this. Oh, we already have a ton of salt, so I'm going to remove that. And I know already that I needed vegetable oil, so I'm going to add that. this looks great. Time to go shopping. I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm actually think there's a Peapod. Yep, there's a Peapod option. So I know I already set up my Peapod account in the application settings. I'm going to go ahead and send this to Peapod. That's fantastic. Looks like I've... And Maggie.